Hey y'all. I went for a run and the angels led me to a different part. But remember, I live in the city, so we've gone to a different part and I don't know where I am, is what I'm saying. And I was just kind of sitting here. I was listening. I went on the run listening to Pastor Jerry. I'm actually gonna talk about my opinion on pastors. I just have I've seen so much and I know that I have so much to share. Like literally I'm just in the middle of nowhere. But the thing is, like, I haven't gone for a run in a long ass time. Like, I don't do that. I can do walks. I can walk kilometers. But running? But then I had to believe, I was like, bro, like, I'm literally Kenyan. Like, I've got them long distance genes. But we working on all that. So, obviously, I went on this walk and roll up, sip, whatever you do to get comfortable, and let's talk about a few things. So yeah, I've been at home maybe just for like the past week, over a week or two, and I've been kind of thinking like, what's going on? But I've realized today, like, I'm not the problem. Like, I haven't been doing anything wrong for the past year. It's called consecration, which is basically separating yourself for a time. It's not forever, but I just assumed it was going to be forever. And now that I feel like, when I was running, I just wanted to rewire my brain. I was like, you know what, like, if I went with somebody else, then I would be kind of rewiring my brain to do it with somebody else. The point was that God doesn't want me to rely on man. That was literally it. He wants me to have friends. He wants me to do like everything with people. He just said, don't rely on them, that to the point where you won't go on a walk with me just because nobody is there to go on a walk with you. Or like, don't think that I don't want you to smoke ganja just because it's not in your reality. Like, I'm showing you what your subconscious is saying, that you have to work for weed. But I'm trying to tell you. So I was walking around and I was like, I don't have to labor for what naturally grows. I was telling myself that. I was like, I'm an economy. And I was listening to those prayers and I just felt so free. Like, it felt, I've said this before, but like, I'm very big on just the unseen realm. So like, as they're praying, it's like I can see them and they can see me. Obviously, like, I don't know if that's true or not, because he's mentioning every case under the sun. But Pastor Jerry Eze, if you don't know, he's a Nigerian pastor, and I only found him like not that long ago. Sorry, I saw somebody and then I was like, no, see, look at it. But you know what's crazy? When you're recording and you have your phone out, people say hi to you more. I don't know if that's just me, but they approach me more. You almost, maybe it's because they're conscious I'm documenting an experience. But anyways, I thought I was having this, so back to Pastor Jerry Eze. He speaks in tongues with two other people for maybe like an hour and a bit, depending on, it's not a fixed thing. So he'll have all of these revelations and be like, this person with cancer, let it be reversed, this person with this and this and this. He's mentioned, I have told God to mention my case to him, but for me, it wasn't a thing about mentioning cases. Every case felt like he was talking to me. Like, it felt like it applied to me in everything that he says. Even the cancer ones, like, I don't need to have physical cancer to tap into that, to know that even if I did, this is, you can truly, your faith can make you well. And I think it took a year to talk about my shroom experiences so that I fully adjust, and that I would have had so much excitement talking about it on the day. But now I've got a year after to give you guys, some sort of, how has it been the year after? What have I been feeling? Did I ever go back to the old mentalities? How has it been rewiring my brain? And it doesn't mean that Pastor Jerry, like these men of God, believe, it's not that they agree with smoking weed or doing mushrooms or anything like that. It's not about that. I can't worry about that because I am a unique individual. That's what I was going through this year, the purging and that guilty conscience that never started with me back to the slavery times. You know, there could be bodies under here. You know, we say it as a joke, but they really could be bodies. Okay. And I kept trying to run to another country, like, oh, I need to go to Thailand. And like, I actually live in London. I mean, I live in the suburbs, but like, I live in London, so it's like, this is a city that somebody's begging to be in, and I completely lost sight of just having two legs, being able to drink water, to swallow without, you know, your throat hurting. Like these basically I was writing poetry, and God told me, like, find me in the small things first before you try and find me in the big things. Like, you're trying to say, oh, like, you, God, like, why don't I have any finances? But he's trying to show you your subconscious believes that you have to labor for finances. You don't believe that creativity is your income, that you can go on a run in the morning and you don't need anybody to do it. I'm right there with you. And like, I sat down for a little bit, and this guy said hello to me, and I literally wrote in my poetry, like, I want a stranger to say hello to me, and I don't want to act like a stranger in my own city. It's just because I've always felt out of place. I never felt like I fit in anywhere. And I know I'm not the only one who felt like that. Where's the plane? It's over there. Oh yeah, it's over there. Soon I'll be on the plane, y'all. But I fully believe there's many different ways to travel. I wrote that in my poetry. I was like, there's many different ways to travel. I thought that gem was gonna be gone by now, but yeah, this felt like I don't even know where I am. I don't know how far I am from my home. Don't really care, mate. Because, you know, I was also, you know, on TikTok, and I saw people saying that once you leave your house, it technically doesn't exist because it's not in your view. So I'm like, I kind of just sat down and meditated and cried, and the prayer was going on, and I was just like, wow, like, thank you for just opening my eyes. See, like, for most people, some people do shrooms to awaken, some people pray to awaken. Everybody has different ways to awaken. Life is not one size fits all. So when I realized that I can do both, it's not like, oh, hey, I can do both. No, it's like, oh my God, like, I have the grace to do both. I have the grace to, like, smoke weed and listen to the 7 a.m. prayers. Somebody else is going to say that I can't do that. Do you get it? But like, on this walk, I was like, how long am I going to worry about what other people say? Like, who told me I can't do that? And every time I try to condemn myself, God is like, what are you doing? Like, I don't know. I think in the purging of the subconscious, I wasn't aware that I was going through a year of purging, because I did shrooms on July 30th. But yeah, I did shrooms on July 30th, actually. But it was so late that it just felt like 31 to me. And 31 was the day that everything changed. And July 31st at 3 a.m. was when I had that encounter. And I thought, like, the religious side, but it was just purging. I thought, oh, I gave my life to Jesus in July. First of all, you can't give your life. Second of all, no, he said that my faith made me well. I was like, bro, what? So then he had to take me back to, I was writing loads of poetry before then, but I was more into astrology then. I love astrology, and it's very telling. I need to get back into that. My point is, yeah, this run gave me such a revelation that I've got to stop demonizing everything. If you're worried about the next turn, where am I going? How am I getting there? Like, all of those stupid things. And I'm a collector of rocks. I don't know why. I'm a collector. I like things to hold. Anyway, I just said, bro, like, I am worrying about the stupidest shit to ever exist. And I'm happy, like, I think because I did shrooms last year, I don't need another trip that tells me that life is worth living. Now I'm like, no, even if the shroom trip is all that I can remember, I'm gonna tap into how I felt on that day. I have videos from that day. You know, I'm just waiting for the universe to be like, now you can talk about shrooms. Now you're ready to tell people, because I genuinely feel like there's gonna just it was on the walk, so many people are gonna be watching my videos, and I can't make every video about my mother and father, every video about healing. Like, bro, what else do you have? But that's not true, because I've watched my videos and I'm like, bro, I've been binging myself to learn to love myself, because like before I was like, ooh man, I'm recording myself, but now it's like, wow. And I haven't done any shrooms yet. So if my mind is this clear, if I'm preparing for shrooms and even for smoking weed, what is my mind, what am I going to be able to receive? Like I said in the other video, sometimes when I smoke weed, it feels like a microdose. It feels like I'm tripping on shrooms because of the mind. It's all perception though. Like, some people are like, oh, you know, I smoke weed and I just get really lazy. That was me back in the day when I was smoking every day, but it was reflective of my life. It was like the weed didn't really have any revelations to give me. They were just telling me like, you work too much, you don't get any actual rest, you sleep but you don't get rest. So the universe kind of blessed me and let me sleep, because as I was sleeping, I was quantum jumping to these realities. Like right now, when I'm recording myself, I would always have dreams of watching myself recording myself, or like editing a video. Like, my point is, like, when I was in my most depressive state is when the light is there, but you don't see that because you're depressed, you know, you don't see that in the dark. So if I can just be that light in the dark, I was like, God, like, please use me to pull people to go on a walk today, to go outside, to even just play water sounds if they can't go outside. I want to create a YouTube. I just want all social media to be a thing where somebody can binge, somebody can microdose and watch my shit, somebody can drink what, like, if they're stressed, they just go, they know I need to go to this video and I'm gonna feel good about myself. Like, because I realized how much I needed that. And the universe kept telling me to make videos. I'm like, no, I can't do it. So now the videos are like triple the experience and wisdom and love, which technically means that it's even better, because I put effort into my videos, man. But I'm learning that I actually need to pour in, like, make videos. I've got so much to share. And if you don't go on walks, you don't go outside, like, please don't beat yourself up for it, because you're never gonna do it. I kind of had to rewire my brain, and I was like, man, I'm all going on all these walks and then I'm gonna have to go back home. But I said, oh my God, like, I've got 2 legs to go on a walk, I've got 2 legs to go on a run. There's defo a way to, like, get a home or just, like, live on my own again. But it was just because I was so paranoid about being there, I didn't realize that I was the answer, and shit's never gonna change until you change. I just saw a squirrel pee. Wow. That was really enlightening. Anyway, I don't know. I think I've just been afraid of, like, letting the universe work things out. You're always so worried about finances, like little things, like even looking in the mirror, you don't want to do it. Even sometimes, like, I would never look at myself, like, but now, like, there's a woman over there, she's walking her dog, and, like, before I would have stopped recording, like, we're in each other's reality for 5 seconds. We were probably really close friends in another life, which is why we're crossing paths. I don't think anything is a mistake. But I remember one time I microdosed and I was on the train, because I used to have really bad social anxiety on the train, and I would have my headphones in. Like, looking down, don't look at me, I'm in my own world. And then if somebody looks at me, I'm like, didn't know that they just they just saw what I couldn't see in me, and they just wanted to smile at me. You just assume that somebody's judging you when they look at you. Even if they are, who cares? They're not in my body. They'll never understand how I feel. They've never lived my life experience. And I'm going on a walk for everybody who can't do it. For the version of me last year who couldn't do it. Every version before that who, yeah, I would try it. I would want to go to the park and my mom would always have to come with me. I didn't mind, but there was always a limit to where I could go in it. So now, no limits. That's why I started and I was like, bro, I don't even know where I am. Like, I've just loved being that adventurous. Like, I don't want to know where the next turn is. And I realized that I'm actually more susceptible to change than I thought. It was just an assumption that I'm not. It was an assumption that, you know, because I'm always used to the change happening internally, I'm still like used to the 3D never really changing for me. But I realized that if you have internal changes, then the only reason that the 3D is not responding is because you don't want it to respond. You don't want to forage and find magic mushrooms. You don't want to smoke weed and pray and understand. Like, it takes courage to fight your subconscious that has told you for years that smoking weed is bad. I never thought smoking weed was bad in my heart. I thought it was in my mind, because my subconscious, all I could hear was my mother's thoughts. And I think that is the purpose of all of these videos up until now, that your parents can dictate your every move and you won't notice it until you've left. But it's because I left. That was the only reason why I went to uni in first year. Like, that was the only reason, just to see what effect God just wanted me to see. Look, do you see how you're so affected by your biological mother? And like, my mother has TikTok and she has socials, but she's not posting content or posting art or like, so it doesn't really motivate me. I kind of just have to not trump her energy, just kind of see her in the sense where this is where she is and I can't push her. One, she is not allowed to push me. See, I can have these boundaries for her, and she doesn't even need to be aware of these boundaries. It's the fact that I will speak it into the atmosphere when she's at work. And I am trying these things that only occur in the unseen. Like, you can't see my words coming out, but in the spirit realm, they're coming out. Like, I know a lot of people that have like microdosed on mushrooms and they start typing on the computer and the words are like, I remember there was one time I microdosed, because a lot of the times I didn't go on my phone or I didn't have it, but I rewired my brain when it came to technology. I looked at my iPad and I was like, this is for my benefit. I just started seeing it in a different light. I was like, oh, it's not a bad thing. It's not a glaring screen. It's actually like the world on my phone. I can find out so many things on this rectangle. Wow, imagine what my brain can do. If you've seen Limitless, you know. And I wrote in my poetry that weed and mushrooms is not my NZT. I am NZT, because it's tools. Yes, we are both conscious, but if we're like not, you know, talking to each other, then the mushroom's just gonna be a mushroom and I'm just gonna be a human. But when we come together, we have a healthy relationship. I understand the mushrooms got something to teach me and I got something to teach them, to learn from them, and they'll pass on the message to somebody else who does mushrooms. And the first time I did shrooms, I was with my friend and he didn't really receive that revelation because it's about frequency. But what's so funny is, like, not once did I ever see it like that way. I was talking and he was just laughing with me. Like, he was fully interactive, but he wasn't speaking about himself. Do you get it? So it's almost like I've stepped in and I speak the minds of people. I really like that. sometimes you just need to hear somebody else say what you're thinking, and I love doing that because we all have, like, you know, a collective consciousness. I don't know if it's one, and I've been so afraid to get things wrong, to say, actually, you know, I said this in another video, but now I have a completely different view. It's expanded. Like, knowledge is meant to change. I'm sorry, but this tan is going crazy. This tan is going crazy. Oh, I can't wait to be like a, you know, like caramel bronze. Yeesh. Kaya da basata. Anyway, I just know I have a different vibe, and like, I was like, oh my god, people are gonna call me demonic. That was the main reason I didn't want to do no videos. I was like, people are gonna call me demonic for saying you can pray and smoke weed. No. There is a frequency that I'm on, and only people that are on that frequency will see my videos, one. And two, even like the ones who say that, if they see my videos, it's because they have the capacity to know that this is okay, but they will fully reject it because of their subconscious. I mean, it's not that crazy to reject weed. You know, we don't like weeds. We don't like weeds in our garden. I say it all the time. I'm like, bro, why is it called weeds? Like, I think I need to start. I always call it cannabis, but it slips my mind sometimes, y'all. And I'm listening to worship, Ryan Ofe, Warehouse Worship. And I just realized that just because, so I believe in God, but like, I realized I am him, and like, I was kind of upset that I had this duality of like, I'm not called to the church, but yet I'm still the church. And then I realized, like, it's because I'm meant to be both. You're not meant to be male or female. You're not meant to be rich or poor. You're not meant to be like, life is both, and it's not either or, is what I'm trying to say. So I can listen to worship one time and then listen to like Leanne LaHavis another time, and her is my favorite artist. That's never changed. You know, you demonize all these artists and stuff. I'm not saying that their music isn't, there's a lot of low vibrational music, but it's almost like the music can't bring me down, if that makes sense. I feel like if I was standing in a rave, I think I would just block my ears, bro. I'm not being funny. Like, there was just some things that I could do, and I was like, listen, man, I don't fuck with this music. And I would kind of just like take my mind elsewhere, or I don't know. Anyways, and I remember I left in the morning, maybe like 6:45, and I said, like, you know, hey, because I have to pass by my mom's room on the way out, and I was just like, hey, how are you? I'm going on a walk right now. Look at all the squirrels. You can't even see them, but there's like 5 over there. Anyway, and she didn't say anything. You're like, why are you angry? Like, what? Bro, I'm like, I knew. Obviously, this is the thing though. I'm getting over. I have to be okay with them not responding. You know, their response can't change what I want to do. Like, that it didn't ruin my day. Hell no. But I was just like, she didn't say anything, and then she just went back on her phone, and I was just like, okay, let me put my shoes on and see, like, what is so bad about, every time I say I'm going on a walk, she's pissed. What do you want? Every time she's off work, I just feel really depressed. I didn't want to say it, but I just start spiraling. But I realized, I said in the last video, it's because I wasn't covering my crown chakra, you know, heavy energies. So when I go back, I'm defo covering my hair. But I can't, I said if I lived alone, what would I do? And oh yeah, going on a walk? Yeah, that's what I'm doing. But I think I'm learning that, like, if I become the person that I want, I'm going to attract those people who are looking for that same thing, and then they're like, whoa, are you telling me all I have to do is become it and I can be her friend? Yeah. You know, we're always like, I was talking to my friend. She lives in Amsterdam, and not in Amsterdam, she lives in the Netherlands. I need to stop saying that. The Netherlands is a big thing. That's like saying somebody lives in London and they live in like Manchester. With that being said, I spoke that into the atmosphere as well. I want to record a solo day in Manchester. Manchester is like one of my favorite city. I wish I was lying, yeah. When I say I love Manchester, look at this cool mushroom. Obviously it's not a magic mushroom, y'all, but it looks fucking cool, man. It looks fucking cool. There's two, but it's not obviously the magic mushrooms, you know what I mean? Wink, wink. But I was literally saying to the universe, like, if this is my reality and life is what you make it, then I'm gonna treat every day like foraging. One of these days, man's gonna be in Thailand. I just feel so free. You know, a year ago, hey, you wouldn't have seen me out with shorts and a sports bra. I look like a runner, first of all. But the second thing is that my mum was always like, like, why are you wearing that? You can't wear that. Like, just a comment on everything. So I think because she hyperfixated on me, I hyperfixated on myself and like constantly judging myself when nobody actually gives a fucking toss. I will share my opinion because some things just burn inside me, and it's been burning inside me for like over a year now to tell people that you can smoke weed and talk to God, like you can smoke weed and pray. Bro, smoking weed just brings out already within. You know how I remember I knew a few people in university you couldn't have sex without smoking. I can't lie though, I think they were onto something, because like there's a certain state of mind where whatever you do, it's just low vibrational. You eat food, it feels like survival mode. You have sex, it feels like the worst thing ever. I think that's a certain very low vibration of like self-hate or something. So, but my point is, like, obviously now when you perceive that as an addiction, you're now thinking that I can't have sex outside of this, when actually you're just on a different vibration, and you've clocked that when you smoke weed you go to a different you go to a higher frequency. But yeah, you won't ever perceive that. Have I had sex high? No. But would I do it? Yeah. I would just have to do it with somebody who has, I don't know, my kind of mind. I felt, and this is another thing, I felt like I couldn't be specific about what I want. I felt like I couldn't say that I want a man or a woman. I'm learning how to be picky now, because I remember I kept saying I need a man, and I felt like the universe was saying, they were like, why'd you need a man? I said, wait, whoa. I thought, procreation is much bigger than the man and woman. I'll tell you that for free. Procreation happens every second of every day. I don't think there's a second people aren't having sex. That doesn't mean man and woman though. My point is that I used to be so grossed out by sex because my body remembers trauma that I don't. But the point is that if I spend my whole time here trying to remember the trauma, when the universe is trying to help me release, then we can remember. Because if I remember now, I'm not gonna move, y'all. I'll be like, oh my God, I had a revelation on mushrooms, and like this woman, like, she touched me when I was little. I feel like I've been cowering behind my suffering, just there, like, oh, I can't move, I can't have sex, like, pleasure is bad, smoking weed, like. And then I stepped back this past year and I realized, whoa, everybody's in fucking bondage. Not everybody, different frequencies, but I meant like the most religious people, the ones who say don't do this, don't do that, they keep all these good deeds, they are the most unhappiest people. Like, when I say, and I feel things so much deeper, so I kind of need the person that I'm intimate with or in a relationship with, they need to have that level of like intuitive, eyes. Like, they just know, oh, she's not really feeling, you can tell she's not really up for it today. You can tell she's feeling a kind of way. Like, I want him to be interested in my poetry, or her. I'll say them. I want them to be interested in my poetry. And that's when I really started understanding the LGBTQIA, like they, them people, is because they see themselves as male and female. It's not, oh, like, I don't know what I am. They're the only reason that why the LGBTQIA, and I'm included, the only reason is just because I don't care for labels anymore, innit? Like, my mum, I think me liking women would be like the last straw for her. Like, I think me having a girlfriend, like, that would actually give her a heart attack. God forbid. Like, God actually forbid. But I'm just saying that's how dramatic she would be. Like, y'all, I've got story times on story times, and you're gonna be like, how are you like this? Like, how are you still with her? How? That's when I had to realize that there was a higher force, because I don't want to fucking be here, but something is keeping me here. And I realized it was for my greater good. Like, they were just trying to tell me, like, girl, we just want you to know that we love you. That's literally all that it is. Because if you don't hear it from us and you try and look for it in relationships, it's just gonna be a long day. I actually have no clue where I am. Kind of love it though. I like the way at first I thought I was, anyways, I'm seeing a bench, so we're gonna sit over here. I know a spot. All I need now is a fucking J. If I had a spliff. But like, even the smoking thing, learning to like smoke alone has been too much fun. I just saw somebody else running, and then when I was running and I had stopped, this guy smiled at me. I was like, wow, like, I was so afraid for nothing. But yeah, next time I'm here with a J, because, you know, but I just didn't get any weed today because I forgot, and I left at like 6:45, so I was like, it's either I wait until the morning to pick up, or I just leave right now and get it later. I was like, I'll get it later. And I was like, bro, it's kind of mad that we pay for weed when it grows on the ground. That's why I was affirming it. I was like, bro, like, why am I paying for things that grow? But anyway, sorry, I saw a nigga with locks. See what I... See what my life is, bro. But that, I should take that as a sign that, like, the next person that I'm meant to be with has locks, or maybe the next person I'm gonna meet in my life has locks. Maybe not take it so literally. Maybe there's just a significance to locks that I don't understand. But I've wanted locks since I could remember. And then there was, I think I was like 17, and I was like, you know what? That 17, she was like, Kim was such a bad bitch. My spiritual name is Divine. Like, that's what I go by now. Because, like, I just kept going by what my mother and father called me. And I don't... Like, Kim couldn't think past October 20th. Like, I'm going to keep saying it. Like, I couldn't think. Because that's all they were giving me. Like, I don't know. That's all the time that they had anyways. But now, I'm like, yo... Divine, she's just so free. That's that inner you that wants to do things, and then there's an outer you, because you're a body, you're a spirit, you're a soul. So, you know, there's just a lot. And yeah, it's just nice to see people and not be afraid. Oh my god, I never finished the microdosing on the train, you know. I must have, like, I think it was on the train. I was on the district line, I think. No, it must have been like, what's the pink one? Hammersmith and City. That's the one. So I was on the Hammersmith and City, and then I was like, I'm just gonna eat some. Like, I'm just gonna do it. It wasn't something I planned. It was just something I decided to do. Sorry, I could hear somebody, but yeah, it's cool. I ate them. It was less than a gram. but I was actually starting to crack up. And then I realized, like, not crack up as in like, ha! No, it was like just little smiles. I was like, what am I worried about? People are getting on and off every fucking stop. I've never seen the same face. Okay, that's a lie. I've definitely seen the same face, but it's very rare. That's how busy the world is. Like, I didn't fully understand 8 billion people until I was like outside, like traveling. Like, when I really left my room, I was like, bro, like, the world is actually bustling and moving. What am I doing? I'm seeing this couple, and then I'm seeing this one who just came back from work. I'm seeing this one who's going to work. I'm seeing these two friends going out. I'm seeing and when you're on shrooms, you can kind of tell when other people are on shrooms. So there was a few times where I felt like this person defo knows I'm on shrooms, but like, especially the ones that smiled at me, I think they knew, but like, they're not gonna be like, you on shrooms? Like, no, it's just like, oh, you know, good energy, good light. And I was just kind of like, oh my god, like, people. And I remember when I was like really depressed, I was working at it's either Shake Shack or Wingstop, you know what, some fast food place. That's how you know I've worked in loads. Some fast food place. And every time, and I was working in London like 4 or 5 days a week, so I was never really at home like that. So just being there, and I remember I would kind of write down in my notes sometimes, like, what this person, I would look at the row and I'd be like, oh wow, like this woman, like a Thai woman, obviously I'm assuming, right? But I'm like, and she's wearing this and this and this, and she looks like she does this, and like, you know, I hope she has a good day today. And then I'd go to the next one. I'd basically just, I didn't know I was affirming in their lives though. I really didn't know that. But, and then there was actually, I'm not going to share that one, because that was the point, to do a good thing and not tell anybody about it. But basically, I just told this woman she's gonna be okay, because she was crying on the train, and everybody was kind of just like staring at her, and I was like, what is this? How inhumane are we to just like watch somebody cry? And we're just kind of like, that's how you know a lot of us are untapped with our emotions. She was just on a different frequency, and she brought something out of me that I didn't know was in there. Everybody tells me I give such good words of encouragement. They would like love to be my friend, or like I'm the best person to talk to. I'm like, how have I never seen that? And I was like, oh, it's not that, oh, I spent a year at home, or no. It was to show you. The universe is like, I need you to see you. Don't let somebody else tell you who you are. You know who you are. So then when we send your social media to people, they know that they, first of all, I'm a reflection of you. Second of all, they can look at themselves in the mirror and be like, she doesn't make it sound too hard. You know, she doesn't make it sound impossible to love yourself. And I think we've kind of been taught, you know, shrooms for me is like years of therapy. That's not to say I'm not going to get therapy though. Definitely going to get therapy. Therapy is amazing. I know people that have online. You know, these people that I say that I know them online. Online for me is real life, and that's why I'm fighting my subconscious, who used to take videos but never posted them. So my first instinct when I post is to delete, but I have to get that out. Like, what is it about me that I can document an experience, document a time that I'm never going to get back, be able to watch that back in another time, and assume that this isn't worth posting. You have to get to the root of why you don't want to post, and most of the time it's not you. You know, maybe like you were embarrassed on social media at a time, or we've seen celebrities, the way they get dragged, we're like, bro, I don't want that to happen to me. But they kind of had to learn themselves on the go while the whole world is watching. I don't know what it's like to heal and the whole world is watching, in a physical sense. In a spiritual sense, definitely have had guides to help me and stuff. And I think the spiritual realm is much bigger than I could ever realize, because it's the parent realm. But as I am in the child realm, if I have to just conquer my mother and my father, I think that's great. And I don't live with my father, so it's much more of a psychological thing. The things that he said to me as I was a child and all of that. How can I get all of this from a run? I just can't wait to go back and smoke weed, you know. And the friend that I blocked, then the universe told me that it's because I was handling it wrong. Like, when I get too attached, they always tell me to let go. But then I thought that, okay, he's gonna stay blocked now. And they're like, no. We just needed you, like, both of you, to realize, like, the purpose. I don't know, like, the reason that he's in my life, I think, is the complete opposite reason that I think. So I'm all for blocking people. Like, I think the point is to smoke with him, and then it helps me realize that if I have thoughts that I'm not going anywhere or anything like that, like before, if I feel unmotivated, I'm able to say, this isn't me. And then I can share that when I smoked with somebody, this is the experience that I had. And somebody else will say, I think I felt that way after I smoked with somebody as well. Are you telling me those thoughts aren't me? If I'm smoking at home and my mother also has opinions and, you know, strongholds in her mind, it's not that I'm receiving the strongholds, it's that I'm being shown the strongholds. When I smoke, I'm being shown what is already there. It's not like, oh wow, this is so depressing. It's like, no, like, shit, like, he's already depressed. And now I'm just more aware of it. Am I aware of it to know that, first of all, you can't pull somebody out of depression, because I was there and I just needed somebody to be there. And as the days go on, for me, I was like, I kind of got fed up after a point. Like, there's a breaking point. And they say that the break point is your breakthrough. So there is a breaking point, and the universe just won't let him die. He's going through, like, physical illnesses that have been, like, claimed as terminal. But I just always say when we smoke, like, if we believe that, we ain't going nowhere. Like, and from somebody who from 10 years old said to myself that I'm gonna die by 20, I gave myself a death date. And I know I'm gonna meet people who've done that same thing, you know. It just feels mad to talk about. But the more that I talk about it, the more that it's normalized, the more that it's not normalized, but, like, it's normal to talk about the things that have happened to you and not hold on to them as baggage. I don't have to have a depressing voice to say that. I can say that's what happened to me, and that's not how I feel anymore. And if that's not how I feel anymore, I can watch a reflection of me where I did feel like that, where I didn't want to get out of bed, where I had no iron, where I physically was trying to go to the lake every day last year and I couldn't do it. So I'm like, okay, I'm not really in a place to judge him, but I was definitely, like, considering the fact that we did shrooms together and now we have the complete opposite lives, it kind of was hurting and I didn't really understand. But it was teaching me patience, that there are people who are going through way worse things that I'm gonna have to talk to. Woo! You know, that was such a good talk. Oh my god, I don't actually know where I am. If I left at 6:45, let's see what the time is now. God knows. It's 9:20. Wow. That's actually mad, you know. That's actually mad. In such a good way, I think. It's just preparation for when I'm in other countries. You know, it's not, throw away your phone. There's definitely going to be days I don't use nothing though. But I meant, like, if I keep perceiving my phone as a bad thing and not something where I have been consecrated so that I can talk to people who don't go outside, who hate going outside. All it takes is one video. Like, they're gonna be like, did I take my... Y'all, I think I left my stone. If I left the stone, I'm going back, y'all. I left it. That's actually funny because I want to keep it. But anyways, now I just need to microdose and do some and smoke a J. It's not there. Well, I'm gonna have to assume that it's in here. Anyway, yeah. down. I think the point is to... Oh wait, we'll wait for the plane, y'all. I think the point is to love yourself sober, and then when you do shrooms, or you know when people drink alcohol and suddenly they're like, I love you so much, because they genuinely feel that. Now they're in a state of mind where they can say that with no judgments. You know, there's so many things that have happened to me, and I'm like, oh, what, you always wanted to say that, you just didn't know how to say it. And guys, when I walked back, I saw a guy sitting, like, there was a bench, like, you know, close by, and he was just with his dogs on his phone. And I was like, oh my god, he just heard me have like the deepest conversation ever. I think that's the point though, innit? Sometimes, like, if I was walking by somebody and I heard this, I'd be like, damn, that's so good. But it was the point though. I was like, yay. But it's so nice to finally not care. He didn't look at me, nothing like that. First of all, I'm assuming, innit, he probably wasn't even listening, but I was kind of talking like I was the only one here. I've been doing that this whole time, and I think I just want to help people and myself, because I rewatch my own videos, that we're not alone and we're not as crazy as we think. We just think, you know, perception of crazy is wrong. The English language is we'll call it modified. And I even started saying, like, I remember all languages, like, because, you know, sometimes, and even when I used to watch TV shows and stuff, I used to watch so many Brazilian, Portuguese TV shows. But anyways, at that time, when I was doing that, sometimes, and even with anime, like, after a point, there's a lot, I'm not saying you can watch it without sub. I always watch with subs. But I mean, like, there's a lot of things that you pick up. And yeah, when I was in my anime bag, like, bro, I remember there was a day I was speaking in tongues and I just forgot English. Like, I was like, bro, like, what even is English? But it's because I microdosed. And my spiritual father, like, I don't have hate against churches. I think I'm gonna have to, like, vlog my church experience or something. But, like, I'm very much, my assignment is different. Like, I have to be online. Like, I can reach way more people online than I ever could in a building. And there's a time where it would switch from online to in real life, because I'm gonna have my own, I say we because, like, it feels like the universe is helping me. I'm gonna have my own platforms and things, cameras, film studios, like, all of these things that, and they're gonna be at good prices. I want people who can't afford this shit to be able to buy, or at least, like, I can do, like, giveaways. I don't think I will participate in Black Friday, because I kind of want, it's not about profit. Like, I'm not trying to, but I understand that I do have to make money. I'm not saying that, obviously, but I have to reframe how I see money and just my whole life in general. So yeah, I'm very fascinated by, like, rocks, fossils, you know, by the sea, all that good stuff. I haven't found one since I was a child, though, that I could actually hear the waves. Vividly remember, but I think, where was I? Maybe Brighton. One of those places where it's just pure sand. And that was good. That was really fun. I don't know, like, to just be outside made me realize, and I've been listening to bird sounds for, like, the past 2 days, which made me feel ready. So now I'm listening to, like, these bird sounds. I'm like, oh my god, hey, like, I don't know, life just feels like it's looking up for me, even, like, and it's not about the 3D anymore. If you think about the 3D, I don't think you'll actually go anywhere, you know. Like, it's actually kind of deep, the way that the 3D controls us, the way we say these 100 families are the richest, they're not as happy as me. Do you know what I mean? They're actually, like, we don't know what they did to become the top 100 richest families. And for me, if I want wealth and like I become wealth per se, because we are money, right? Like, we are the reason that they are the richest, because we've based it. Yeah, anyway, can we just talk about this plan? I think this is gonna be I'm gonna do something like this. I had to double up and do 2 bras, guys. You know, I got some jugs on me. Let me do like a... Oh, that's so nice. I love that. Yeah, I'm just learning to make loads of videos. And naturally at that, it's not even something... Like, I've been taking videos for a long time, y'all. It's only now I'm getting over the subconscious. Okay. So before, I know we've got a lot of things that we think and all that, but have a look at what your... Oh, not it holding my jacket. Have a look at what your subconscious is saying, right? And be like, I'm a climber, it's all good. Period. Ma, beat me up, Scotty. I just feel free, and I feel like that's a good conclusion for the revelation of the run. Stay happy, stay blessed, and if I always like to give a word of encouragement at the end, if you feel like, man, nothing is ever going to work out for me, please watch one of these videos. Please come back to this video. Please, sometimes you just need somebody else to say it. Please let me be your friend. Please. And I'm not saying that like, oh, I've been there. Like, I don't need you thinking that everybody in the world is evil and out to get you. I've suffered for too long not to talk about this shit, and now I feel confident and I'm ready. So this is Divine, Joy, Kim, and every other name that I discover. Until next time, y'all. Bye.